Okay, this is me, the Matrix Refugee, doing a little vlogging with a V instead of a B. The reason being, I deleted my personal live journal, my fanfic journal, and my personal journal's archive on Dreamworth because this is my way of taking part in the internet blackout protests that have been launched against SOPA and PIPA. Is it just me, or do those names sound like some kind of evil twins in some cartoon? Or maybe that's just my crazy brain coming up with craziness to make light of a potentially dangerous situation. I'm finding it really ironic that all this is going down on just about on the anniversary of the passing of the 18th Amendment. I mean, SOPA and PIPA are like, the bastard children of the 18th Amendment and the Volstead Act. It's like, it's like that Shirley Bassey song. It's all just a little bit of history repeating. And the reason why I deleted my journals is, okay, I couldn't figure out a way to do one of those neat codey blackout thingies that so many sites like Wikipedia and boingboing.net and so many others were doing. So I figured, okay, what would happen if SOPA and PIPA went through? My journals probably would wind up getting deleted because I have a lot of fanfic on there, and in the hands of the wrong judge, fanfiction would constitute internet piracy. So I figured this was a really explicit way to do this. Not just blacking it out, but just deleting my entire journal for 24 hours, because, that's what would happen if this thing went through, So I'm also finding it really ironic that today's first reading in the Catholic Mass prayers was David versus Goliath. It's like, it's like, irony much? It's like, there's just so many of these little things that are happening today that are just, the planets are aligning, Congress's actions have woken up the wrong beast that was sleeping, I mean, we're not just a bunch of nerds on here. We're real people who have real hobbies and things that are being affected by this thing that they're trying to push through, You would think that they would have learned from the 18th Amendment that while you can legislate how government and society conduct themselves, you can't really legislate how people are going to live their lives. But, I guess people just don't learn. What's the saying? If people are ignorant of history, they're doomed to repeat it. I think there's a few people in Congress that really need to brush up on their American history, because this is just not going to work. The only thing that this is going to do is it's just going to, cause everybody who's doing things that are considered, illegal, that's just going to push us into, I don't know, some kind of internet equivalent of speakeasies, I mean, that would be kind of fun, though, the fanfiction speakeasy. Sign me up for that, I mean, I've already determined that and I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but if this thing goes through, I'm literally just going to be a scofflaw and just, I mean, it is moral for a person to break laws that are just plain stupid, and the blocking of free expression, as far as I'm concerned, is as stupid a law as you can get. I mean, there is no way that fan content is ever going to replace the canon that it was based on. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not Jim Butcher. I'm not Yoko Matsushita. I'm not, any of these writers whose stories I base things off of. I'm not, Russell T Davies or, the 9 bazillion people that wrote episodes of Stargate, It's like, there's no way that my work, however good it might be, is going to take the place of their work. I mean, I just don't have quite the same voice. I just don't have quite the same chops, So, I find these arguments that, oh no, fanfiction is going to take away from the original source material. I just find that just completely bogus. It's as bogus as you can get. It's not going to happen, I mean, these might be embellishments on the canon, but it's not a replacement for the canon. I mean, well, except in the cases of things that got canceled and, the fans are keeping it alive by writing, stories based on episodes that we wish we could have, could have seen. I mean, I would love to see fan fiction based on the little hints that Joss Whedon has let out about what he had in mind for Firefly. I mean, he had some fun ideas that he's just starting to leak out now that it's safe to do so, and I'm thinking, ooh, can somebody please write that story, even if it's not, officially, with the blessing of, Fox TV and all them that were involved in the production, so, yeah. I just had to let off a little bit of a rant because this is bugging me, Plus, it's also bugging me that I can't write in my journal, because my journal is deleted for 24 hours. And I will say it's a little creepy when, I'm tooling around on like my roleplay journals where I've friended my personal journal and I see, look at the user info and see my name struck through. It's like, it's a little creepy. It's like, I mean, I know I did this, obviously. But just seeing it, it's like, But I believe I did the right thing. I mean, I wish I could have that, fancy code like everybody else has got, but this is my way of doing it, and personally, I think deleting the whole site, or deleting my whole journal temporarily was, I won't say a little more direct than blacking out the site, but, it was a low-tech way to do it, and I'm happy with it, and I hope that this is, this helps get the notion across, even though I don't profess to be an internet superstar by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just me, the Matrix refugee, with her own little corner of the internet, with her own bits of craziness on there, and, lots of fan fiction, lots of rants, lots of guess what kind of crazy examples of human behavior I saw today at work, or on the Catholic Answers Forum, or where have you. But every little bit counts, and I just hope that, this winds up being the shot heard around the internet world, the electronic domain, cyberspace. Yeah, the shot heard around cyberspace, the crash heard around cyberspace. What do you call it? Sorry, Ralph Waldo Emerson. I just had to adapt your wonderful metaphor for the electronic age. But, yeah. I'll have a few more words later, but this is me signing off for now.